Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy American financier who lived an unusually private yet extravagant life. He owned a private island, multiple luxury homes, private jets, and moved comfortably among elite social circles. Despite lacking a clear public business record, Epstein built relationships with influential figures across finance, academia, politics, and high society. But behind this image of wealth and exclusivity, serious allegations began to surface. Allegations that would eventually change how the world saw him. As early as the early 2000s, reports emerged accusing Epstein of exploiting underage girls. Victims described being recruited under false promises, being pressured into inappropriate situations, and being silenced through fear or legal threats. In 2008, Epstein faced legal consequences, but many believe the outcome was unusually lenient given the seriousness of the accusations. This raised early concerns about court documents, depositions, emails, testimonies, and legal filings. Many of these files came from civil lawsuits, particularly those filed by victims seeking accountability. For years, much of this information remained sealed. But as courts began unsealing records, journalists and the public gained access to previously hidden details about Epstein's operations, his network, and how complaints were handled or ignored. Importantly, these files do not automatically imply guilt for every name mentioned. They provide context, connections, and unanswered questions. The shock didn't come from one document, but from the pattern they revealed. The files showed repeated warnings that went unaddressed, victims whose voices were ignored, and a system slow or unwilling to intervene. They raised serious concerns about institutional failure, legal loopholes, and the unequal application of justice. For many people, the Epstein files symbolized a deeper issue: what happens when power protects wrongdoing? As details emerged, global media coverage intensified. News outlets, documentaries, and investigative journalists examined how Epstein maintained influence, why investigations stalled, and what reforms might be needed. Public reaction was intense: protests, calls for transparency, and demands for accountability. The conversation expanded beyond one man, towards systemic problems within legal, financial, and political structures. Despite extensive coverage, many questions remain. Why were early warnings dismissed? How did legal agreements limit accountability? What safeguards failed victims? These unanswered questions are why the Epstein files remain relevant today. They are not just about the past. They are about preventing future failures. The Epstein files remind us that power must be questioned, and victims must be heard. The justice must be transparent. This case reshaped conversations about accountability at the highest levels of society. It serves as a warning and a lesson. History isn't just what happened. It's what we choose to learn from. If you believe stories like this matter, if you believe history should challenge power, and if you believe truth deserves attention, subscribe to Iconic Journeys. Because some journeys don't just explore the world, they explain it.